Man, it's been a minute since I did a Harmony Hollow video. I should check how the old ones are doing. Yeah, YouTube, For You page. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Videos, popular. The first one's at 51k. The second one's at 7k? Okay, I get it. You want more Harmony Hollow, let's get into it. But first, maybe I should change the way I look. Yeah? I'm a horse now. Also, if you haven't watched part 1 and 2 of Harmony Hollow, please check them out. This video will not make that much sense if you haven't seen them already. That's right, we're back, and there's more Harmony Hollow, aka My Little Pony Next Gen. If you're new, hi, my name is Ivan, or if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back and loving Harmony Hollow. Seriously, all the love has meant so much to me. You read the title, yes, it's clickbait, yes, I want you to comment about it. It gives me more reach, I don't really care. But also, I do believe that Gloomy Everglow is kind of the perfect villain. Is it because he's my OC and I love him very much? Maybe. I don't know. But basically, let's get into his character and what you're going to see today. Because this is focusing on one single character, and it's also a collaboration with Kise, everyone be waiting for his villain video. It's going to focus on showing you his 3 forms, I guess is what I will say, because I hate that My Little Pony just gave you one villain design and you never got depth, and if they were supposed to be reformed, you never got to see it unless it was Starlight Glimmer, really, and there wasn't a lot of strong villains. Discord's great, I like that he gets reformed, Chrysalis is cool, I think they made her lame later, Sombra is aura farming, but this is about Gloomy. Gloomy is actually inspired by King Sombra, as in he also performs dark magic later on, but we're gonna talk about his origins first. He's actually the son of Luster Dawn, Twilight's final student, and some unnamed pony that I haven't decided. I believe I want his father to be a jeweler. They both did die in the infection, because obviously you guys know that this story starts with the infection, and it actually is what kind of started Gloomy's path to villainry. Because he didn't have a really good home life, he ended up in foster care, was thrown around. He also started as an earth pony, but had a cutie mark that had to do with magic. This isn't really common, and especially after the infection, which dispersed magic throughout all of Equestria, kind of got all over the place. So seeing this kind of cutie mark for a pony, it usually assumes, oh, maybe they write in, I think it's called glyphs or other things, and that is how Gloomy used to perform most of his magic. He created all of his own spells. He was definitely destined for greatness, but also his name wasn't Gloomy. This actual form of Gloomy is his real official name, Inky Everglow. The black on his cutie mark is ink from all of the spells that he was writing and creating as an earth pony. So many so that he actually found spells and created a spell to turn him into a unicorn, but he didn't have enough magic for it yet because people were underestimating him, not giving him good resources and good ways to actually pursue the magic that was within him. You can actually see the magic in his design once I start coloring, because I gave him colorful streaks that kind of shimmer like real gold in I think all 3 forms. This was supposed to symbolize how magic can flow through earth ponies and other things that don't necessarily scream magic. I wanted him to be a magical pony without a horn, and I was like, how do I do that? And so that's where the magical hair streaks came in. I also wanted to lean to the fact that I'm imagining that his father is a jeweler, so I kind of wanted him to give that rose gold, natural rich feeling despite his current origins. His cutie mark is a candle to show that his passion is always blazing and has never burnt out ever, not in any of his cutie mark alterations. The book that is open, the pages are almost flipping themselves, showing that they're full of magic, and the glow to show that he's glowing brighter in his talent and his skill. In his first design, I wanted him to have an updo, and I wanted him to be kind of a parallel to Solar Flare. The two of them do not get along. They hate each other, because Gloomy, as Luster Dawn's child and also would have probably been a successor student if Twilight had made it out of the infection, hates Solar Flare because he sees them as the person living his life, if that makes sense. It's a destiny that he feels like belongs to him and he doesn't have. But he was supposed to train under the princesses. He never actually made it to that magic school because of obviously getting poorly treated in his pony orphanage situation. He's always had the reddish pink in his coat in this original design. I almost gave him gray in all 3 of his coats, but I felt like a warm brown shade suited him better, and I kind of wanted it to be like how paper fades over time, that his original design is like a vintage papery color, and then as his design goes on, he gets more gray and loses almost his roots, truly. For his main villain design, I wanted to make sure he was a unicorn, because he gave himself that unicorn horn himself, which is why it doesn't match his skin tone. It's like mostly black, and it has the red magic because his magic color is red. And also his design gets basically covered all over with, you guessed it, shadows, because he uses dark magic. You'll also see this in his key mark, that the candle color changes to show that the candle has been corrupted. As he learns more about his ability to conjure magic, he actually gives himself a horn, making it much more easy to control the magic that is within him, and this is why he becomes our first ever villain in Harmony Hollow by stealing the elements of harmony! Yes, you heard it here, folks. Gloomy Everglow is our introductory villain into the series. Yeah! I love Gloomy. Can you guys tell? Can you tell he's my favorite? So let me actually give you guys a summary of what I imagine if Harmony Hollow got an episode, what episode 1 would look like. The episode would start out of us focusing on Solar Flare. As you remember, our Twilight essence pony, not DNA, they're different, with the essence of Twilight and the magic of the sun instead of Twilight within it. Solar Flare has been given the opportunity as a quote-unquote prince, who knows what they go by, of Princess Sunset Shimmer and Princess Starlight Glimmer to watch over the Museum of Harmony. That is where they live. Yeah, I'm going with a museum. Hate me, because it's similar to Twilight. I like it. They're a museum nerd, and it's awesome. So the Museum of Harmony is where Solar Flare lives, and they have been keeping track of the Harmony tree, which, yes, still exists. It's thriving. It's thriving so much, in fact, that the elements of Harmony were able to be stolen, and it didn't really affect Harmony Hollow, which is weird, because they thought that the Hollow only survived because of the elements, but it's not. It's because of Twilight's magic. Who stole them, you may ask? Well, it was Gloomy. Gloomy stole them because he wants magical power. And you're like, well, if he has enough power that he was able to, by his own accord with dark magic, turn himself into a unicorn, why in the world would he want to turn into an alicorn? And to that I say, if you're using dark magic, you're gonna go power hungry. I'm sorry, it's not the right way to go about magic. Of course he's gonna go power hungry, and he wants to make the world feel the same suffering he did. So he goes and he steals the elements of harmony, which then gets our 4 legacy ponies from episode 1 alerted. We get Midnight, Confetti Cake, Silly Seams, and Solar Flare all on the job, dictated by the princesses, to go rescue these elements of harmony. But, funny story, Solar Flare doesn't show up because she's already on her way. They're already on the journey to go get the elements of harmony, and he is off, he's on his solo journey, and they are going to get those elements whether they like it or not. The other 3 are now forced to go search without Solar Flare, probably the person who would know the most information, to try to catch Gloomy Everglow. You're probably also realizing that I'm using any pronouns for Solar Flare. That is a change. I don't know if I mentioned that in the first video, but now they use any pronouns because I just think that that's the kind of person Solar Flare is. As they continue on this journey, they would end up meeting the other non-legacy ponies, which I kind of like to imagine that they all are the heart of magic, because to me each of them embodies another member of the main 6 in their heart aspects, but that's for another video. After this arc, and they catch Gloomy, because I don't want to go too into it in case we do make it an episode, which fingers crossed I really want to do that. After they would catch Gloomy, Gloomy would then get turned to stone, and actually, which is really funny, the pose that I'm drawing him in for his 3rd illustration, Gloomy gets turned to stone once he gains his alicorn form, because they steal the elements back, so when he's turned to stone, he is stuck as an alicorn. Whether or not he ever gets out of the stone, he does. He isn't an alicorn anymore, and he misses those wings every day. He only got them for 5 minutes, and he's so mad about it. He's so mad about it. I don't know if he'd ever end up earning them later, if he'd end up becoming a prince of magic in any way. It's not a no, because he does marry royalty later. Who said that? But yeah, that's the form that he actually gets trapped in. For this design, I had a really hard time at the beginning because I really wanted to make him look very different from all of the other villains, but I also kind of wanted him to have that emo baddie look that the 2000s really had for a lot of villains. Obviously his color palette was very similar to King Sombra, and I wanted to make his wings made out of the dark magic / ink, so they were supposed to be reminiscent of both of those elements. And I was like, do you guys remember that one My Little Pony villain from the Superheroes episode, Maniac? I thought her hair was so cool, and I wanted Gloomy's hair to do that cool spindly thing, so I gave him really cool spindly hair that looked like flowing magic. That's why he looks this way. He's awesome. I also wanted to make it a point that because he had gotten so lost into the magic, his destiny was up in the air, which is why in his final form, he doesn't have a cutie mark, and also why most of his body is now covered in those ink scars, because he's gotten more and more corrupted. I also wanted to focus on more of the emphasis of the red in his design, and because the magic is so abundant and overflowing, that's why he's so sparkly. I wanted him to be really sparkly. I have been a really big fan of the sparkle design, and I don't think it makes him look any less masculine, okay? But that was kind of the concept for those things. I also wanted to give you guys a special treat this time and do some doodles of character interactions because I thought it was kind of important. I hope the speed paint isn't too terrible to see. I used this like rainbow pen and I tried to make it as clear as possible, and then afterwards I was like, can anyone tell what I drew? And then I fixed it to black, and there'll be like end screen CGs at the very end of the video. But let's talk about some relationships that he has with other ponies. Like I said, he gets married to a certain horse, a certain Midnight. Yes, Gloomy Midnight. Gloomy Night is canon, okay? If you don't like it, I don't care. They're in love. So the first illustration I actually did is Gloomy and Midnight's sister. Hint to Kize's video. They're beefing because she initially wasn't invited to the wedding because Gloomy didn't know who she was. So that's not his fault. Then the second illustration is the iconic Cadence Shining Armor horns crossing image. You all know the one. If you don't, I'll probably put a PNG in post. I really wanted to emulate that because Midnight is Flurry Heart's baby. The timeline's changed. Flurry Heart is mom. The third one I wanted to do. So Gloomy and Confetti Cake are best friends, okay? And you're probably like, what? Listen, when Confetti Cake saw that Gloomy got turned to stone, she really didn't think he was all that bad. She saw that he was misunderstood. And for the however long he was stone, she brought him cupcakes. And it's canon that at the Grand Galloping Gala, because they do bring back traditional My Little Pony traditions, she brought Gloomy's statue a cupcake from the gala. And the final one is Solar Flare and Gloomy battling it out. They're always duking it out, but in this one specifically, that is them battling in his crazy form because he's evil and crazy. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed learning a little bit about Gloomy. Really quick, I'm gonna get Kize's shoe in here, and you get to hear a voiceover of me reacting to his drawing of Gloomy and Midnight. I'm so excited. Hi guys, I got Kize. Kize, say hi.
Hi.
So tell everybody a little bit about your Yowiful drawing. I'm so excited.
Yowie. Horse Yowie.
Wow, this is a great talk.
I changed the pose in the beginning because I was fighting for my life, and I continued to fight for my life for this entire drawing. But this is post-marriage Gloomy Night. I'm not gonna spoil too much about the marriage arc because I think that's the second thing. That's not the first arc.
It's so good. It's a later arc, guys. You're not ready. You're not ready.
You guys can see I was fighting for my life with the back.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks really awkward with the focus being so close to them, so
I feel like every time I watch one of your speed paints, I'm like, wow, this is so fast and it looks incredible. And then it's done and I'm like, what did you even do?
Just every time I draw something, I just black out and then there's something on the screen.
I love the color palette you used because one of the main things that Kize and I have talked about a lot with Harmony Hollow is that we just both are like, it's so purple. It's so purple. Yeah. There's no explanation. I think the main reason I think it's so purple is because I'm like, well, Twilight's magic is in the universe now. Yeah. So everything got purple.
Everything in My Little Pony is kind of very colorful and magical colored already. But I tried to like push it in this.
Oh my god, the gazebo. I love gazebos. Oh my gosh, flashbang.
Yeah. I just couldn't figure out what lighting to render them in, so I was fighting for my life. And then I changed the color of the water because I was like, that blends in too much with the rocks and it looks fug. So
Yeah, but it's still
yeah,
purpley. It's pretty.
then I start rendering Midnight first because he's my baby. He's my baby.
I feel like everyone's gonna be like, their favorite is absolutely Midnight, and the answer to that is yeah. I love Gloomy Night. I love Gloomy Night. I still think that you draw Gloomy better than I do, and
No.
that makes me a little bit mad.
No, I'm so mad because I missed so many details because this goober wasn't done with Gloomy's coloring. So you sent me the flats, and I had only the flats to work with, and his previous form was fully colored, but in this form that I'm drawing, I only had the flats as a reference. So I didn't really know what kind of effects I had to do in terms of like shading, rendering, and stuff like that. If there was anything specific like glitter and like the inky magic type of thing on his scars, I didn't know that was a thing. Sorry.
Well, I didn't know it was a thing while you were working on this drawing. I decided it
You gave him
midway.
eyeshadow, and I didn't get to give him eyeshadow because I didn't know he had eyeshadow. So my bad.
Oh, what's funny is that you're like, oh, I didn't know about the glitter hair, but I like genuinely stole it from this drawing in particular. I ended up deciding to do it because you did these little glittery highlights, and I went, I like.
But you had
that.
that on the freaking in the first form.
Yes, but you're thinking so. Harmony Hollows existed for a long time. Like, it actually started on a magma. And at the time, the only characters that we did we did everybody on the magma. Except for Solar Flare.
Yeah.
Solar Flare had the war, like a design war. Originally, they were going to be an idol. Crazy.
Yeah.
And then I said, this design's ugly. I'm redoing it. And Kise was like, yeah, I didn't remember their design out of all of them. And I said, that's a problem.
Remember when Frosty was supposed to be a cheating?
Oh my god, Frosty also was almost gonna be like autumn colored, and then I said we need a blue horse.
Frosty was a cheating. It was a
seashell. Seashell. I'm gonna leave this as unedited as possible because I think they need to see how silly we are.
Oh.
But we'll have to talk a little bit longer because I don't think we've talked enough. We've laughed enough.
I was adding rainbows because he's gay.
It looks good though. Well, no, we'll have to talk a little bit more. It'll have to
It's
talk
just gone for you, but it's gone.
It's gone for us. We had a lot of war. Basically, the only designs that have like not changed is Gloomy, which I realized in the middle of like editing this video that Gloomy used to have armor, and I just took it off.
He had armor?
He had armor. He had because he originally, when he was in that third form, was supposed to be made of shadows, which is still the case. I just didn't give him armor. And maybe I'll add it later, but I didn't want to take away from the patterns on his, like, horse form. Anyway, but I will say, Gloomy stayed the same. Midnight looks exactly the same. Midnight has not changed since day one. Neither has Confetti Cake.
He's changed a little bit. I thought he went through a few changes. Like,
He got more
I
fluffy.
think his cutie mark.
Oh, yes.
He did get more fluffy.
He got
his
fluffier.
cutie mark was changed, and then his armor was changed.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Confetti Cake, the only thing is that she's gotten more pink. That's kind of it.
Yeah, which I don't know if I love, but I don't know if I hate either.
Yeah.
Because originally I didn't want to make them pink. But,
Yeah.
I mean, they are related to Pinkie Pie, so like, why not?
Silly Seams is exactly the same. I said copy paste. I have not changed anything since creating Silly Seams. And same for Cherry Cobbler. He got a little bit cuter.
The only ones that weren't there at the beginning, Seashell Sunrise was not there because I did not know what to do with it. Moonlit River was there.
He was there and he still looks the exact same.
Yeah. Solar Flare was not there. Yeah.
Solar Flare
and then
never
Enchanted
existed.
Evening definitely wasn't there. I didn't even plan for Midnight to have a sister initially.
Yeah. And she is so cutie-poo. Do you want to tease a little bit at your video?
It's just gonna be covering Enchanted Evening as a villain. Obviously, she's the second villain in the story.
Surprise!
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 Obviously Midnight's not happy about this, but like no one is, so what the hell. And I will say, I'm not gonna spoil a lot, but it's not her fault.
No.
It's not her fault.
It's I wonder whose fault it is.
Yeah, I wonder. I won't spoil that yet.
Just
it's
wait.
A secret surprise for later in my pocket.
Yeah, in his pocket.
To throw at you guys.
Yep.
But I guess as a teaser, I could describe her a little. Like, she's very, well, obviously, like, she's the princess. She is younger than Midnight, but because Midnight decided, I'm gonna be a knight full time, fuck this prince shit, she's kind of doing most of the royal work in the castle,
if not all.
She's a very free spirit, so she doesn't really like doing it, so she kind of escapes to hang out with the main characters a lot, because why not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She's a silly goofy gal.
But yeah, look out.
Very stylish, very pretty, very princess.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very cool. Does everyone think she's cool?
Yes.
Maybe
no.
not. Yes and no. They think she's cool.
You know who thinks she's cool? Solar Flare.
For like more than 5 seconds, she's a little bit of a goober, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. It is endearing, but she's a bit of a goober. That's all I'll say.
So everyone, subscribe to Kisei. Look out for his video. Ah! Look out for his video. And since we're ending the video, we want to know what you guys want to see next. Do you want to see their human designs? Do you want to see the other villains? Do you want to see the main 6? And what they look like in Harmony Hollow? Do you want to see the princesses? Whatever you want to see, we want to know. Based on what you guys say. Kiza really wants to work on the human designs. Based on what you guys say, is that we'll do next. If you guys pick the main 6, that's just a me video. So pick something as along with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love you so much. Thank you for loving Harmony Hollow. Want to say bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.